Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to study lesson 8 on unit 2, students book page number 23. You are going to listen to a short talk. Good morning. You are going to listen to a short talk and then speak. Before listening, let's do a quiz to refresh your memory. Have you got some general knowledge? Only real smart people do well with this general knowledge quiz. Are you one of them? Are you one of the smartest people? Let's take this quiz. Raise your hand if you want to answer.
أستاذ بس سجلت الغياب.
Omar, turn off your mics, please. Who are the Aborigines? Who are the Aborigines? Are they the Inuit people, the original inhabitants of Australia, the indigenous people of southern Mexico? Who are the Aborigines? Yusuf Sayed.
The original inhabitants of Australia.
Thank you, Yusuf. Very good. So the Aborigines are the original inhabitants of Australia. They were the first people who lived in Australia. Aborigine, Aborigine, Aborigine. A person, an animal, or a plant that is an inhabitant of Australia. So you can describe people or things or animals who come from Australia or which come from Australia. What does the word Aborigine mean? Aborigine, it means the first Australians. Aborigine is a Latin word and it means from the beginning. So Aborigine means from the beginning. Aborigine originally means at first or from the beginning. Originally, originally, originally. Originally means from the beginning, in the beginning, at first. Traditionally, Aborigines were nomadic. Nomadic. They hunted animals with spears. Traditionally, habitually done, or habitually used, habitually found, or in a traditional way. Traditionally, habitually done, or used, or found, or in a traditional way. Now, let's move to the second question. Who are the nomads? The nomads, are they owners of horses and camels? Hunters who hunt wild animals or their skins for their skins, or people who travel from place to find food? Let's see. Abdurrahman Mustafa.
People who travel from place to place to find food.
Excellent, Abdurrahman. Thank you. So the nomads are people who travel from place to place to find food.
أستاذ أنا لسه داخل دلوقتي.
Please turn off your mics, please. Okay. Nomad, member of people having no permanent home and who travel from place to find fresh pasture or grass for their livestock or for their animals. Nomad is a noun and the adjective nomadic. Nomadic, you can add IC. Nomad, nomadic. Aborigines also hunted animals with boomerangs. So they hunted animals with spears and boomerang. What's a boomerang? Boomerang. Boomerang is a carved flat piece of wood that can be thrown so as to return to the thrower. Traditionally used by Australian Aborigines as a hunting weapon. So it was used for hunting animals. Boomerang. Now, we have studied some words today and the other words last week. Let's do this exercise. Fill in the space with words from the list. Breathing space, traditionally, close knit, nomad, desert, boomerangs. I'll give you 2 minutes to read the sentence. Complete them with one of these words. معاذ محمد.
Traditionally, first one.
Yes,
Teachers.
traditionally. Thank you. Teachers shouldn't deal with the low achievers traditionally. They need special treatment. So they shouldn't deal with the low achievers in a traditional way. Thank you. Yusuf Muhammad Atiyah.
Events during the Iraqi invasion showed how close-knit our community is. We were all one hand.
Thank you, Yusuf. So our community is close knit, bound or joined together. Thank you. Muhammad Maher.
I always take a little breath space between jobs.
Yes, thank you. Breathing space or arrest. Thank you. Ahmed Haidar.
For people in Africa desert, they're home seeking for
Desert. Desert. Yes,
They're home seeking
desert.
for better life in America and Europe.
Thank you. Poor people in Africa desert. They leave their homes looking for a better life in America and Europe. Thank you. Muhammad Ali Rabia.
Boomerang were first used by the people who were living in Australia when Europeans
Europeans
arrived there.
arrived there. Very good. Thank you. Boomerangs were first used by the people who were living in Australia when Europeans arrived there for hunting. Okay, and there is only one word left: nomad, people who travel from place to place looking for food. Thank you. Now, please open your sales book, page number 23. Open your sales book. You are going to listen and answer some questions. Listen to a short talk about the Australian Aborigines. Which of these topics are included? You can see here 3 photos of relate to the Aborigines or the first people who lived in Australia, and there are some instruments they use for hunting, etc. Now, you are going to listen and decide which of these topics are included. Here, you've got here 6 topics. You are going to choose some of them. Then giving a factual talk. Here you can see Prince of the of Britain. Do you know him? What's his name? Yusuf? Okay. Now, listen to a short talk about the Australian Aborigines. Which of these topics are included? The Aborigines' history, their music, their traditional lifestyle, their appearance, their situation today, their treatment by the Europeans. You are going to tick the topics that are included in this short talk. You are going to listen and tick the topics you heard about. Are you ready?
2.3, page 20.
أستاذ ما فيش صوت خالص.
Okay, I'm going to read the text.
أستاذ ما في صوت.
Okay. Did anyone hear the talk? Did anyone hear the talk?
No.
لا يا
No.
أستاذ ما طلع.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to read the text for you so that you can decide which topics are included in this short talk. Okay? The text is in front of you now. Today, I'd like to tell you something about the Aborigines of Australia. First of all, how long have Aborigines lived in Australia and where did they come from? Their story begins 40,000 years ago when large numbers of people came from Asia to Australia. There were 750,000 of them. They were called Aborigines, which means from the beginning, by the Europeans when they arrived to Australia 200 years ago. Traditionally, Aborigines were nomadic and hunted animals with spears and boomerangs. They traveled long distances looking for food. So, what happened when the Europeans arrived? In general, they treated the Aborigines very badly. The first thing they did was to move them off their land and force them to change their way of life. And what about today? There are now only 250,000 Aborigines. That's 1% of the population of Australia. Their lives are improving because the government has given back some of their lands and set up educational programs for their children. Now, check your answers. Which of these topics are included in the short talk? Ziad.
The
Aborigines.
The Aborigines history.
History. Thank you. Muhammad Ahmad.
Their situation today.
Good. Their situation today. Kareem.
Their traditional lifestyle.
Very good. Muhammad Majdi.
Their treatment by the Arabs.
Treatment by the Europeans. Their treatment by the Europeans. How the Europeans treat these people. Okay, let's check the answer. Are you right or wrong? Let's see. Which of these topics are included? So, the Aborigines' history, their situation today, their traditional lifestyle, their treatment by the Europeans. Now speaking, let's learn how to present a factual talk like this. You can use these expressions. For giving information, you see, I'd like to tell you something about. Asking for information, what do we know about? So you can ask questions to attract the reader to listen to you. Okay? Sequencing information. If you are telling information in order, you say, their story begins. First of all, how long? Next, let's look at, and what about today? And where do they come from? Where did they come from? Finally, I'd like to end with. So you can use this piece of information or these phrases to present your talk. Now, what are you going to do? Preparing for speaking. You are going to give a short talk about a group of people. Decide which group to talk about. Choose a group you know about, or find out about a group you are interested in. You can choose a group like the Aborigines, or another kind of group like nomads, university students, fishermen, etc. Or you can talk about a famous family in Kuwait. You can talk about the famous Asbah family. You can talk about a Rashidi family, Al Materi family. Talk about their history. Talk about their past. Now talk about their life today. You can find information about this group from books, from other people, or from the internet. Make a note of some of the important facts about your group. Think about these questions. You are going to answer this question about the group. يبقى انت اختار عيلة من العائلات، قبيلة من القبائل، اتكلم عنها. الصباح family, الرشيدي family, المطير family. Talk about your family. Talk about the Kuwaiti people. Where did they originally come from? Did they come from Saudi Arabia, from Iraq, or from Iran? And talk about their way of life in the past and how they live nowadays. Where does the group live? How does the group live now? Where was the group from originally? What was their traditional way of life? How is their way of life changing? Write these facts in short sentence which you can read or speak easily. The language in the useful language box may help you. زي ما شفنا بعض العبارات ممكن تستخدمها موجودة في المستطيل تحت عندك useful language box. This homework you are going to write it in a piece of paper, and then I'll ask you for tomorrow to read it out, present the topic in front of the class. You are not going to send the homework on the assignment section. You are going to prepare this talk as an oral presentation about one of the families by answering this question. Okay? واضح الموضوع؟ يوسف؟ يوسف محمود؟
ايوه استاذ.
واضح؟
واضح الموضوع.
Okay.
ايوه.
Okay, your lower your hand please. محمد ماهر.
Teacher, can I talk about another thing?
Yes, what do you want to talk about?
Internet and...
The internet.
Yes.
Yes, maybe later, but we are going to talk about what? About a group of people, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay.
So you are going to prepare this homework at home and present it tomorrow morning in the next period, okay? You are going to answer these questions as you can write them as notes. That can help you. So you can use this useful language box to help you present the topic using the sequencing information like first, next, then, after that, finally. And you can attract the listener to you by asking questions. What do we know about? How long? Where did they come from? What about today? So you should attract the reader or listener to your talk. Now, then you are going, after writing this topic, you are going to take turns to give your talk to the rest of the group. Other students should not interrupt. Of course, you should listen carefully to your friend. You shouldn't interrupt them while talking, but you could ask the speaker questions after the talk. After the talk is finished, you can ask. So this is the way how we should listen to ourselves or to our colleagues. You should listen, You shouldn't interrupt the speaker, and you should ask question after finishing or after the talk is finished. Okay? And then you can discuss any interesting points from each talk. يبقى دلوقتي لما واحد بيقدم برزنتيشن يا شباب، عود نفسك اللي ما تقطعوش، خليه يتكلم الموضوع كله، وبعد كده عندك اي اسئله تكون في نهايه الايه، نهايه السبيتش او نهايه التوك. Okay? So let's revise what we studied today. We have studied some new words. Let's learn them, and then I'm going to ask you about the Aborigines people. Aborigine. A member of the race of people with dark skins who were the first people to live in Australia. Boomerang. A curved stick that, when thrown in a particular way, comes back to the person who threw it. Nomad. A member of a group of people who move from one place to another, living in one rather than living in one place all of the time. Nomads move from place to place. They don't have permanent houses, as Abdurrahman said. Originally, first of all, from the beginning, at first. Look at these two pictures. Originally, it was a bedroom, but we turned it into a study. At first, it was a bedroom. From the beginning, it was a bedroom, but we changed it into a study. You know, Albert Einstein is a famous scientist. Albert Einstein, or Einstein, was American, but he originally came from Germany. Traditionally, according to tradition, in a traditional way, traditionally, the company's main marks have been Britain and the US. So, who were the Aborigines? Hands up, please. Yusuf Sayed.
They are the original inhabitants of Australia.
Thank you. Abdullah Khalil.
The first people to live in Australia.
Thank you. What do you know about the boomerang? What do you know about the boomerang? Ziyad Hatim?
They used it for hunting, and it's a piece of wood.
Yes, very good.
You throw it and it comes again.
Right, thank you. The boomerang was thrown by Aborigines for hunting animals. What do we mean by nomads? Nomads. Muhammad Maher?
Nomads is a group of people. They go from a place to place to find a house or food.
Yes, to look for food for their animals, to look for water. They don't have permanent houses. Telling stories was traditionally found in the past to spend free time. Traditionally, as you mentioned, in a traditional way or habitually done before. Again, who are the Aborigines? Muhammad, Majdi.
The organs of population of Australia.
So the original people of Australia, right? So the first Australians, yes, the Aborigines, the original inhabitants of Australia, سكان الأصليين لأستراليا. The Aborigines were the original inhabitants of Australia. And Aborigine is a Latin word, it means from the beginning. Who calls them the Aborigines? Who calls them the Aborigines? Yusuf Sayed.
I don't know.
You don't know. You should listen. You found the answer in listening. Ziyad Hatim.
By the Arabians.
The Europeans, yes, the Europeans called them the Aborigines. And when did the Europeans arrive in Australia? When did the Europeans arrive in Australia? When did they arrive in Australia? Muhammad Maher.
They arrived in Australia and habitats of the Adabi. I don't know.
You don't know. Yusuf Sayed. $200 years ago, about 200 years ago, they arrived in Australia. The Aborigines led a traditional way of life. How? Talk about their traditional way of life. How did the Aborigines lead a traditional way of life? Muhammad Maher.
They hunt animals and go from place to place to find food or houses,
Yes.
food for their animals.
Right, very good, thank you. So they were nomads, they were nomadic, they hunted animals with spears and boomerangs. They, as you said, they used to travel from one place to another looking for food and water. Good. Okay. Now, who wants to present the topic about the internet? Raise your hand, please. Who wants to present a topic about the internet? Muhammad Maher? Yes.
Yes, right now or
Yes,
tomorrow?
we are ready now to listen to you now. We have enough time.
Okay,
Are you ready
teacher,
now?
can I say tomorrow because I'm
You didn't
not ready now.
prepare? Okay.
Yes, but I can prepare tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, Muhammad Maher. So don't forget that you are going to present a short talk about a group of people. Choose one of them. Talk about their life in the past. Talk about their life, their traditional way of life. How did they live in the past and nowadays? Talk about any interesting information you have collected about them. Okay? I'm going
Teacher.
to, yes.
How many sentences?
تفضل حبيبي. How many sentences? It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter about just answering this question in details. It can be 10 or 12 sentences. So you can answer
Yes,
the
going to be
questions
tomorrow?
mentioned. Yes, tomorrow. You can answer the questions in your sentence book by writing them on a piece of paper, and then I'll call names to who's ready to present the talk, and then your friend can ask you questions about your topic. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Welcome. I'm going to stop recording.